what's up everyone? Carl Williams here. Williams is Mind and Muscle Mechanics. Hope everybody's having a good day today. It's Friday, we made it to the weekend. Today I wanted to take a couple minutes to talk about basically the relationship between carbohydrates and creatine. Okay, because the two actually do sort of go hand in hand. Like the two sort of play off each other, and definitely they definitely contribute to basically having your muscles look a lot fuller and basically being able to basically pop through your skin, through your layer of fat a lot more, and basically make you look more jacked and more ripped ultimately, right? So to do that, I want to start off by explaining basically so carbohydrates, right? Unless you're on the keto diet, in which case your carbs would be, you can't really have carbs. I think you're limited to like 50 grams of carbs a day on the keto diet. But unless you're on the keto diet, carbohydrates. So what they're gonna do, you know what I mean? I mean, everybody knows carbs give you energy. They provide you with glucose basically and glycogen. But not everybody knows that basically when carbs get stored in your muscles as basically a chain of glycogen, each one of those chains of glycogen can actually absorb, I think, up to 3 grams of water. Okay, so that's why it's right in the word, right? Carbohydrate. Okay, so basically when you have your carbs, this is going to get stored in your muscles as glycogen, and then that glycogen is going to bond itself to water, allowing your muscles to hold more water. And basically, for one of the very first benefits is like they're going to be a lot harder to injure because they're going to be well hydrated, real elastic, and also it's going to make your muscles look fuller, right? Because they're going to be full of water. And I know a lot of people think they seem to have this misconception that like having a lot of water in your muscles is going to make them look softer and sort of fluffier, but that's not the case. You know what I mean? Because basically, it would be the case if you know what I mean. If your skin was absorbing water, if your skin retained water, then that basically your skin would get thicker. Therefore, it would hide the muscle underneath more. But basically, like when the muscle itself gets bigger and full of water, it's not going to lose its shape. It's not going to become like an awkward sort of bloated shape. The muscle is going to stay the same shape. It's just going to get bigger, allowing it to poke through the skin more, and basically, it's going to give you more definition. I might not be the best example there. I'm not exactly like a super low body fat right now, as you can see. I tend to basically stay in a sort of a slight surplus. Sort of year round, and then basically when I start getting too soft, I'll dip it down a little bit. But I basically, as long as I can see my abs, I'm pretty content. I'm a big strength guy, and I like playing sports and stuff like that. So to me, unless I was to start competing in bodybuilding or something, I tend to, allow myself to carry a little bit more body fat than a lot of than the average gym goer. A lot of gym goers, it's all about the super ripped abs and this and that, which is fine, right? Everybody has. That's why it's important to set your own personal goals and stick to them, right? And don't let other people discourage you from doing that. But anyways, back on topic here. So yeah, carbohydrates, right? They will allow your muscles to hold more water if as long as you're eating an adequate amount of carbs, which should be probably right around about 40%. Of your daily calories should be from carbs at least, and then you obviously have your 1 gram per pound of body weight for protein, and then maybe about 20 to 30% of your calories should also be from fat. But yeah, at least 40% I'd say should be from carbs. That way your muscles are going to be nice and full of water. They're going to be hydrated. They're not going to strain as easily. You're less likely to tear something. Just basically all that good stuff. And then, your creatine on top of that, right? So that's actually what creatine does. When you take creatine, it allows your muscles to absorb more water, right? So basically, if you're eating the proper amount of carbs and then you're combining it with your proper dose of creatine, then you're going to be good to go, right? Because your muscles are going to be about as full as they can get with water. You're almost guaranteed to have perfectly hydrated muscles as long as you're you're drinking lots of water. You're getting your water needs per day, and you're not you're avoiding alcohol and excessive caffeine, stuff like that, right? So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this helps to. Hopefully this helps people make that sort of connection between, you know, carbs and creatine, and why both of them are important in order to have nice full looking muscles, right? The two of them are going to help you look more jacked and more ripped. So you're missing out if you know what I mean. If you're scared of carbs and you haven't, and then you also haven't tried creatine, you know, I mean, I encourage you to you know, up those carbs and go get yourself a jug of creatine and try it out. So yeah, hope this helps. If you like my videos, like and subscribe, and keep kicking ass, everyone. Have a good day.